Hello there! Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan. I am a licensed cosmetologist, professional makeup artist, and lover of theatrics. And today I'm going to show you guys the essential things that you need to start your makeup kit. When I was first starting out, I really wish that somebody had kind of steered me in the direction of what I actually needed in my kit, because as you guys know, I'm sure, when you go to a Sephora or an Ulta or even like a Target, you're hit with so many products, you don't actually know what you need. Maybe you're just looking to bulk up your kit a little bit, but I thought this was a really great video to show you guys what I can't live without, and hopefully you get something out of it. So we all know that skin prep is super important because everything that you put on top of it is going to make or break your look. So I like to use two skin primers. I like Scandinavia's skin primer, and I also really like the Milk Hydro Grip as well. This is nice for if I'm going for more of a full coverage look, and this is good for people that kind of want more of a natural look, and most of my clients do want a natural look. And of course you have to have a setting spray. So I also use the Scandinavia, the makeup finishing spray. I love this one a lot. I also have to have makeup remover in my kit. This is essential because when you're doing an eye look, or let's say somebody arrives with makeup on their face, and sometimes they do, sometimes there's still mascara residue, you need to be able to get that off so that you can apply your makeup and know that it's not gonna crumble and look a hot mess. Sanitation is so important, as you guys know, so you are gonna need to have like some Q-tips and some cotton swabs and some mascara wands on hand, as well as some form of rubbing alcohol or sanitizer. I just go ahead and put this in a spray bottle so I don't have to take the whole thing, and then just spray it on whatever surfaces I need to, sometimes my brushes, usually my hand because I do work on the back of my hand a lot, as well as a palette. Okay, so my kit is pretty condensed. I'm gonna show you guys what I travel with. I travel with this, and this, and this. And this holds all of my lip products, eye pencils, and all that jazz. So when you are a makeup artist, when you're a freelance makeup artist, you have to carry a ton of gear going to and from hotels. So I really like to make sure that I have as little as possible. So I like to make sure that I have one neutral palette. I love the Soft Glam palette because there is a wide array of different colors, and I can use it on pretty much every skin tone, which is really nice. There's also some nice warm and neutral browns right in this section. So I really love this palette. Next up on the eyeshadow spectrum, I like to have more of a glam palette. So this is for those bridesmaids or those clients that you have that wants a bit of a pop. You know, you don't want to leave them stranded. So I think the Jackie Aina palette is perfect for that because there's a lot of purples and pinks and a lot of shimmers that you get in this palette that really pack a punch, and it's important to have at least one palette. You don't have to have like a huge array of colors unless you're doing runway or something like that. Usually, mostly brides, mostly beauty, photo shoots, stuff like that, people are not gonna want a whole ton of like color. They're not gonna want like a green eyeshadow. So in that case, you know, it's really nice to just have the option if they do wanna go there, but not break your back carrying a ton of different hot colors. And last up, I like to carry kind of a warm palette. So those other ones are nice, but they're not necessarily full of warm tones, whereas this one is. This is the Just Peachy Matte by Too Faced, and it is a very warm tone palette. And those are gonna be my basic 3 eyeshadow palettes to start with. Now I do also like to throw in a couple of pigments. So I have both of these MAC pigments and I love them. They're so beautiful. This is Tan. It has this beautiful kind of champagne reflect on the eye. It's very soft, it's universal, it works with every skin tone, as well as the Vanilla. This one is also universal. Love to leave it in the corner. If somebody wants more of a whitish kind of look, then you can put this on the lid, but it's really soft, it's not too striking, and it's beautiful. So these are my kind of like bolder shimmers that I like to carry as well. So I think that you should always have 1 or 2 glitters on hand. There are gonna be those people that like a little bit of glitz. They are few and far between. There are not really as many people that like that look, but there are gonna be a few. So I like to use these two. This one is Urban Decay, this goldy one, and this one is by Stila. And so I like to just kind of layer it on top of a shadow if they want just a little bit of glitter. But I don't pack a ton of glitters because time and a place, and usually my clients don't really like that. Up next, let's talk about eyeshadow bases. Recently, I tried the P. Louise within like the last year. Bases, I love them. I love that they are in your skin tone. So I use this on clients a lot. I use it on myself a lot. Love these. They stay on really well, and the makeup that you put on top of it also doesn't budge, which is nice. And I also would recommend that you get a dark eyeshadow base, and that is for basically what I have going on today. So for a smoky eye, if you use a base that's a little bit lighter, it's going to be a little harder to achieve this kind of look. Whereas if you have a deeper base, it's gonna do the work for you. You just lay it down and then you put your colors on top and you're good to go. This one is MAC, you don't have to get that one, but get one that glides on easily and you can smudge out and will stay once you've smudged it out. Let's talk about brows. I typically go for Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gels. Most clients, it works well on. When I'm using these products, I can use my Duraline to thin it out a little bit. I can mix the colors a little bit. If somebody is a little bit more gray or somebody has more of a brown color, you can kind of customize it to what you're looking for, which is what I really like about working with these. You do not have to go out and buy every single brow product that they have. I have four, and that works just fine for me. And they are in color ebony, an ash brown, a dark brown, and blonde. Moving right along, let's dip into face products. You really have to make sure you have the right products for your clients. All right, so these are gonna be my top foundations. We have the KVD foundation. This one is super full coverage and really true to color, so I like using this one a lot, especially if I have a client that really likes full coverage. Love, as you guys know, the NARS Natural Radiant because it looks more like skin, gives nice coverage, and clients don't really feel like they look too overdone. So I really love this one, but of course find foundations that you are into. I also use these MAC foundation sticks a lot. I really like them because they do provide coverage, but it's a softer look. So if I have somebody that really doesn't want to wear a ton of makeup, I will literally just skim the top with a brush and just kind of brush it on gently to their face. Such a nice, buttery, soft consistency and product. You just literally need to glide it onto the skin. So this one's really, really great and essential to have for those people that want that fresh look but don't want to look like they have on makeup. Also, want to quickly touch on the complexions and what I carry. So this is basically all of the liquid foundations in my kit. It's so important to me morally that you have every single skin tone in your kit. That's what people pay you for. So you can't roll up in there and be like, oh, I don't have your shade, you're too dark. It's not acceptable, it's not okay. You guys already know how I feel about that. But what I do is I mix a lot of my colors and custom match it to my clients. So when you're first starting out, that is gonna be one of the most important things to do. You're really gonna have to make sure you know how to color match everyone. Everybody. So I like to have one that's more of a pinky tone and then also more of like a yellow tone in the lightest colors. And then I like to have one that's more of a neutral tone and more of a yellow tone in the deeper colors. And then the deepest shade that I can get in whatever line that I like. Have shades for everybody. Along with foundation, we also have to have our concealers, and I have about 3 that I typically use. So I use Born This Way a lot, and I also use NARS a lot, and I use these palettes from MAC. Now these are really great because you can contour with them. I use them in the eyes sometimes to add a little bit more depth. They also have some peachy tones for color correcting as well as yellow tones for color correcting. So I don't use these so much for coverage, but I use them more for correcting and for contouring, whereas I use these for concealing and hiding anything you don't want seen. So same thing, I typically carry just a few concealers. So I have a light shade, a medium shade, a deeper shade, and then I have my contour palettes over there for if I need to go even deeper. I just custom mix and match to everybody that I'm working on. It's also important to make sure that you have shaping powders and contoured powders in your kit. So I really like to use this mineralized skin finish powder as my contour for my lighter skin tones because this has a really nice natural satin finish and it's not going to be too much. It's not going to be too harsh and dramatic. I really love this Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation for my deeper clients because it has such a nice undertone. It's not ashy, it's not gray, it has more of a warm brown undertone, but it's still true to color and it's still pretty deep. I'll show you guys what this one looks like. It's just so pretty. Blushes are pretty basic. I have a MAC palette and it has a wide array of different blushes. Some have shimmers, some don't have shimmers. I pretty much go and gravitate towards this all the time. I do also have Lovejoy. This is more of a light bronzy natural finish. Okay, let's talk about things that I put on top of the skin. It is so important to make sure that you set, especially underneath the eyes. And again, you have to make sure that you have the right color for the right skin tone. So for a deeper skin tone, I like to use my Sacha Buttercup. It has a really nice warm finish. And for my lighter clients, I like to use more of a translucent powder. So this one is Krylon Translucent Powder, and it sets really well underneath the eyes. Can't have one, you have to have both unless you find a universal one that suits everyone. And last but certainly not least, one of my favorite products, I'm sure you guys know, are my Dior Flash palettes. I just love these palettes. They have changed the game for me. I'm not somebody that loves a huge thick highlight. I don't like to shine like a disco ball. It's just not really my thing. I know that some people really like that and that's awesome for them, but for me, I just don't really like turning to the side and just seeing a stripe of glare. Like I hate that. And a lot of my clients feel the same way. So I really love this subtle finish of the Dior Flash palette, and a lot of my clients really do too. So if you were gonna splurge on one item and you're looking for a highlighter, I would probably recommend one of these. There are some other ones that are subtle, but their sheen is just not as beautiful in my opinion. This is my favorite. This is the one that I found that I really love. It's also important to make sure that you have some essential accessories as well. Lashes are huge. Everybody loves lashes. Well, most people love lashes, so you're gonna wanna have that on hand, as well as some lash glue. You're also gonna have these little scissors. If you have a client that lends a little bit better to breaking up those lashes, this is gonna be essential. You're really gonna need to have it, and it looks better on the eye sometimes. I also have a pencil sharpener, and it has a small side and a large side. So if I have a jumbo pencil, no problem, I can sharpen it. Also a pair of tweezers. These come in handy. Sometimes you will have a client that has a stray hair and you have to just pluck it away, and it's really nice to have these on hand. They're also good for laying down lashes and using them to lay down individual lashes if you want to go that route. Let's talk about eyeliners. So just starting out, you're gonna want very basic colors, brown and black, but you're gonna want brown and black that does not go anywhere, it stays. So I like to use one size, Point Made, and then I also like to use House Laboratories and Color Punk. Very dark, very deep, love it. I also like Sephora's retractable ones. This one is in color deep brown, and I really like it. It works really well. As far as lip liners, when you're first getting started, make sure you keep it neutral, keep it simple. A lot of people don't like a whole lot of color on their lips. Now there will be the occasional exception, so I would say to have like one deeper pencil. Blackmail is pretty deep. This one is from Urban Decay, and also one red one. So this one is by MAC, and this one's called Brick Red, but I'm sure there are several others that work really well. And then for the most part, I just have a lot of neutral tones, because most of my clients, and most of the clients that you're gonna encounter, depending on where you are, do want more of a natural lip. Moving right into products, I do have like one off. Like I have a hot purple, and I have like, you know, a red and a pink. But these are usually not used, or if I do use them, they're not used by themselves. So like I'll mix the two of these to create like a beautiful burgundy color, but most of the time I'm gonna just be using neutral tones because that's what's flattering to most people and that's what they like, that's what they feel comfortable in. So my number one pro tip of advice would be to gravitate towards more neutral shades in the lip department. Also, I really don't have a whole lot of glosses. I have like one or two, but same thing, you want to keep it neutral. The reason I don't have a whole lot of glosses in my kit is because they tend to wear off. And since the invention of liquid mattes, I mean, hello. It was just kind of a savior and a no-brainer. Most of my clients get a matte lip because it lasts throughout pretty much any event and they don't have to reapply. So most of my customers, unless there's somebody that really just doesn't like the look of matte or doesn't like the feel of matte, most of them get liquid mattes. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Those are my pro essential items for my kit. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, you're just starting out, or you need a little bit of advice, or maybe you're not just starting out and you have a question, don't hesitate to ask me. I always get back to the comments. Drop it down below and I will respond back. I love reading your comments. Okay, if you guys enjoyed this video, will you please do me a favor and give me a big thumbs up? Also, if you're into this kind of content, please consider subscribing to this channel. I'd love to have you. I upload videos weekly and I'd love to see you guys next week. All right, bye.